Hey everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. I'm PJ, the trainer who went from fit to fat and back. And today I'm going to do a bit of a dessert, protein pancakes with a blueberry sauce. Now blueberries are fantastic, berries in general, really high in antioxidants, full list of vitamins, low in calories and heaps of health benefits. So we're going to showcase those today. And I'm also using my platinum protein. Today I'm going to use banana flavor and honeycomb flavor. So what we're going to do, we've got everything together. I've got some mint here, some fresh mint for garnish. I've got my blueberries. We've got about 7 ounces of blueberries here. So we'll be using about 3.5 ounces per serve. I've got a couple of egg whites which we'll use to bind the protein together. A little bit of water which will go in the blueberries, which I'll show you in a sec. A minimal amount of butter, which I'm going to use a pastry brush just to coat the pan so that it doesn't stick, so the pancake mix doesn't stick to the pan. And away we go. So what I've done is 60 grams of protein, 1 serve of banana and 1 serve of honeycomb. I'm mixing the two together. And all we're going to do to that is add the 2 egg whites in there. So the egg whites go straight in. And then I've got about 1/3 of a cup of water here. And what we're going to do is add a little bit of water as we go and sort of just gently stir that together to make it into a paste. Add the rest of the water. Okay, and that's looking like a good consistency. So you want it not too runny, but you also don't want it thick, sort of like cement. So basically, a nice running consistency is what you're looking for. Making sure that all the protein is mixed in and that's ready to go. So we'll put that to the side. Now the first thing I'm going to do is get my blueberries on because they're going to probably take the longest amount of time. So I've got a tiny bit of water here, probably 1/5 of a cup, and I'm just going to add the blueberries straight into the mixture of water. All we do with that is we put it on the stove. Like so, sort of a medium heat, and what we're going to do is just let that come to the boil. Then I'm going to cover it and let it reduce into a nice syrup consistency, and when the protein pancakes are ready, we're just going to pour that on top and garnish it with a bit of mint, and away we go. So this will be, per serve, we're looking at about 180 calories, very little fat, tiny bit of sugar from the blueberries, so it's a natural sugar. Really good for you, great tasting, and perfect when you've got those cravings. Okay, so I've got those on there. We'll bring that to the boil, and I'll be right back when this has started boiling up, and I'll show you guys how to prepare the pancakes. See you soon. Okay, we're back. What I've done, I've brought these to the boil, so you can see that they're starting to really form a nice syrup now. They're starting to boil. So what we do now is reduce the heat down way low to a gentle simmer, and we're just going to let that sit in there, and all the sugars are going to be released from the fruit, and we're going to end up with a really beautiful blueberry sauce that'll just taste amazing on top of the pancakes. So I'll just let that simmer away. Now with the simmering, you're looking at about 15 to 20 minutes. Let it reduce into a nice syrup. Check it every couple of minutes to make sure that the liquid doesn't disappear. If it gets really thick and it's starting to stick, just add a little bit more water. But you want it to get reduced quite well so that it becomes a sauce consistency. So we'll come back in about 15 minutes and check on that. And once we know that's ready, we'll put it aside and we'll start our pancakes. Okay, welcome back. It's been about 15 minutes, so I'll get you to zoom in on here now. And that's been frothing away, just reducing into a nice syrup. And if we have a look at our sauce now, you can see that it's a nice sauce consistency. It's reduced really well, so what we'll do, that's ready to go now. So we'll just pop that aside. And now we're ready to get stuck on the pancakes. So we turn our heat back up. Get a bit of heat going through the pan first. It'll help as far as sticking goes, so that things don't stick to it. So sort of get it to warm up, and then all you'll need is a pastry brush, and I've got a really small amount of butter here. Now all we're going to do is, as that heats up, just dipping the brush in there, and this is purely just so it's non-stick. So we're just going to pop that in there and bring that to heat. So warming up nicely. And you do want it to be quite hot so that when you pour the pancake mixture in, it lifts up from the bottom and it'll be easier to turn over. If you put it in cold, it's just going to stick, even though this is a non-stick pan. So get it nice and hot. Not to the point where it's smoking, you know, out of control, but just you'll be able to feel it. When you can feel a good amount of heat coming from the bottom of the pan, that's when it's ready. Okay, I've got my mixture ready here, so that's a good consistency. That's the mixture of the two protein powders together. And then I'm going to use the same bowl, the same measuring cup, and just pour that straight in like that. And this will be enough for 2 serves here. Okay, like that. That's nice and hot, ready to go. And then starting in the middle, we'll just reduce the heat down first and we go straight in. Okay, first pancake is there. And we're going to, as you can see around the edges, it's going to lift up nicely now. So that's really important, and it's important not to get it too thick also. If you get it really thick, it's going to be all gooey in the middle. So it's nice to have it in between sort of a pancake and a crepe consistency. Now with this pancake, we're just going to let the bubbles come to the surface. Once you see it bubbling around, especially around the middle, that's when it's ready. So you can see a few bubbles through here. And I've reduced the heat down low, so I'll just give you a look at the heat now. So it's quite a low flame now. Pop that back on. And we'll just let the liquid start to thicken so that it becomes a pancake consistency. Then we'll grab our spatula. Now this is going to take roughly about a minute on either side, so a minute and a half, but once you see those bubbles and you see the liquid drying up in the middle, that's when it's time to turn it over. So we'll do this in real time so you can have a look. Okay, there's still a little bit of liquid there, and what you can start doing around the edges is start to just make sure that the edges are going to come away. If there's any loose bits like that, don't worry too much about it. So that's ready to turn now, so we're going to scoop underneath like so and just flip. Now look at that, that is a fantastic looking pancake. Reduce the heat even lower now and just squeeze a little bit of the air out. You can see they're nice and golden. We'll get rid of the bits that have separated. And once that heats up on this side, you'll notice that it doesn't take long. You can just move the pan around a little bit and just tap it a bit, hitting it with a spatula as well, and it will start to come away from the pan. So that's almost ready. It's becoming unstuck from the pan. You might need to give it a little bit of a hand, like so. Okay, there we go. That's what you're looking for there. The point where the pancake moves freely around the pan, that's when you know that it's almost ready. And then the only thing you have to do is check the other side to make sure it's cooking through, which it is. So we're looking at about a minute on one side, a minute and a half on the other side. And that will slide straight onto the plate. So we've got our serving plate now. Pop it here. Straight onto the plate like so. And then we can get our other one ready. Turn our heat off. And that will slide straight onto the plate like that. Alright, now we've got our delicious sauce here, which just smells absolutely amazing. And you can see that's really gone into a beautiful consistency. Now remember, there's absolutely no sugar apart from the blueberries. We didn't put any sugar, it's just reduced naturally, and the sugar in the berries will make it into a sauce and also add the sweetness. So directly onto your pancake, like so. And then I like to just grab the corners and flick it over, like so. Okay, so they're ready to go, and then we'll get a nice sprig of mint to pop on the side there as a garnish. And then if you wanted to sort of, you know, do something fancy, you could always just like, you know, put a small amount just around the border like so. And there we have it. Absolutely perfect. I recommend it highly as one of my all-time favourites. Hope you've enjoyed this segment. Thanks for watching. I'm PJ, the trainer who went from fit to fat and back, and I hope to see you again soon.